Hey y'all, what's up? I am back, and I am back on StreamYard. Um, it's funny because I told y'all why I was changing up a little bit, but I thought about it too. I said, even though I don't have that many people that follow me on YouTube, what if somebody was following me and then they just thought I stopped? Like that's not fair. So, and what if they don't have Facebook, and what if they don't know how to figure out what's going on? So I just didn't think that was fair. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and really get back on both. So yeah, that's why I'm on here. So how y'all doing? Um, if you guys are here, please share, and also let me know that you're here. Um, I'm excited about today. I am. So in the room. Hey, mom, how are you? Hey, Heidi girl, how are you? Hey, Auntie Cynthia. Hey, y'all in here. Okay, let me see. Let me just share this on my page. Um, and while I'm sharing, can you please share? Because you just never know who might need to hear this. Okay, so I'm warning y'all right now. I think most of you guys know I have a cat that gave birth right after Mother's Day to 6 kittens. So it's 8 cats in this house right now. And I just got home from work. I think I don't know if they miss me or if they're just going ahead and just, I'm not really sure what this is. So I'm going to just let y'all know if y'all hear that, just ignore it. Just understand this is what we're doing right now. um, anyway, I'm so excited. Y'all here today. Come on. I appreciate. Hi Troy, how you doing? Hey Julia. Hey Auntie Bessie. Oh my goodness. I think this is the first time you came on my lives. Auntie Bessie. Listen, look at Tracy, look at you. Um, listen, I'm just excited. Y'all here in this room. And listen, I call myself being on just Facebook Live because I thought y'all would be more on there. Y'all more on here today. Well, anyway, it goes. I'm grateful. So I'm glad to see you guys all here today. Today I had an epiphany, right? I had an epiphany. And my epiphany was regarding what's the word? It was regarding my going to get my nails done. Like y'all know, y'all see me, I like to go enjoy myself and do things, but I was thinking about how important it was for me to keep this nail appointment. And I know that just sounds like, go with me a little bit. I don't know if y'all saw my post today. It has nothing to do actually about getting my nails done. It's all about the intention behind it, right? And we talk about self-care. We talk about mental health awareness. We talk about self-care. We talk about all these things, but I don't think we are often enough at the root of what a situation is. And I had this little post, and I remember me just kind of like, oh my God, like, these are my nails, layover, and overlay. And I remember my anxiousness, right? So I'm just thinking about all things that happened leading up to it. I'm like, oh my God, I need my nails done. My last 2 appointments were not like, I get them every 3 weeks. They were like beyond, like over a month, the time before. And this time it was 3 weeks, but I felt like I was so anxious about it. And it was abnormal to me that I was anxious, right? And I know that sounds like a parachute, just, kind of whatever, materialistic or whatever. But no, listen, if y'all know me, you know that I'm really, or in the past, I have always referred to myself as kind of low maintenance. I wore it as a badge. And it sounds crazy coming out of my mouth now, but I did. I wore it as a badge that I'm low maintenance. I don't need all that. That's for those other people. I'm just fine. I don't need my nails done. I'm good. I use that for something else. I don't get my hair done every 2 weeks. That's just overdoing it. Do my own hair, save that money. And for a season, I believe it was necessary when you are in survival mode, when you're trying to get from one place to another. But this is not about getting my nails done, y'all. I promise you. I had to realize I was curious about the anxiousness that was happening for me to get to my appointment. I'm like, why am I so anxious? Why am I feeling this way? And I started to realize that it actually had everything, nothing to do with actually getting my nails done, and it had everything to do with the fact that I was being intentional and that I was unapologetic about doing something for me. Now, I know that sounds like, well, Paris, you don't seem like the type that, won't do something for yourself and, all of those things. And, you travel, you do this. So, that shouldn't apply to you. But I need you to understand that you got to get the psychology about why this is important, because I don't believe it's just me. And that's why today we're talking about self-care at the root. Y'all know, y'all hear me talk about self-care, on the weekends, hey, it's the weekend, do something nice for yourself, whatever. I know y'all hear me say stuff like this, but I really don't think you guys take me seriously sometimes, right? And I think people think that it's a luxury. I think that they think it is something that is, you think of the idea, expensive spas and, buy luxurious stuff that, you see in the magazine that costs, $1,000 for a face mask. I think you think that, and I think that you think when I'm talking about it, it seems oversimplified. And so today I really want to talk about not only what it really is, what it can consist of, but I also want to talk about why you don't believe you deserve it. Why you're so resistant to it. And not only why you're resistant to it, why do you frown upon when other people do it for themselves? And when I say you, that used to be me. Okay, y'all know I ain't gonna talk to y'all if I'm not gonna be real about me. If you saw my post, I was talking about I used to never get my nails done. I used to think it was very high maintenance, and I was really afraid to be looked at as high maintenance, right? That was a thing of me. I didn't want anybody to think I thought I was high maintenance, okay? Men included, women included. I just didn't want to have that. To me, it was a negative connotation. I didn't want to be looked at as high maintenance. And I was like, I don't need all that. That's just superficial. And essentially, I also shared that view of other people. I was very judgmental of people doing things, and I had to look back at it. There was a time when I really, if I can be honest, would get tight with people about them pampering themselves. Wow, I don't know if I've ever said that out loud. I knew it was true, but I don't know if I've said that out loud. I would literally get tight with people in my head. I wouldn't say it to them. And depending on who it was, if I thought I was close enough, I possibly could try to belittle them or make them feel bad. Because remember, that was my defense mechanism. Hey, girl, how are you? Hey, Leah. My defense mechanism was to use my words to cut you, because I felt like people could cut me. And so before you cut me, I'm going to cut you. And I use my intellect and my words to try to do that. I try to outwit you. And I try to do it with words. And so if you would say something like, oh, yeah, I went and did this and that, I'd be like, wow, like, oh, man, you spent all that money on that. You must be trying to show somebody up. Or, I would minimize their effort. I would subscribe it to a thought process that they were irresponsible automatically without knowing their situation. I would just say they're irresponsible. And then I would say that they were attention seeking. Can you imagine that? From me seeing somebody going to have a spa day or going to get their nails and hair done, whatever, going shopping, I would literally in my mind assume that person was attention seeking, that they were, irresponsible with their money, or whatever thought process, materialistic. And I didn't even know the person. Doesn't that sound horrible? Why did I do that? And that's the question, right? I don't think I was trying to be judgmental, but I did end up being judgmental. And that was really, really concerning to me. I'm like, why does that bother me? Like, Why does that bother me when somebody does nice things for themselves or when somebody does nice things for them, right? And especially when it comes to things like the spa, get a massage, get a facial, go buy myself something without needing it. Come on, y'all hear me? I know y'all ladies especially know that, or anybody that's a provider, the idea that you feel like you can only buy something when you wear something out. Like I was only buying things to replace stuff. I was never buying it just so I can have something nice. I never thought that was a good enough reason. Hey, Tracy girl, I never thought that was a good enough reason because I wanted something. That was never a good enough reason. It had to be literally, I have worn out this piece of clothing or this pair of shoes and I had to get something to replace it because I had nothing else left. Like I'm telling myself a little bit. I used to just wear shoes out like little kids do and just wear them to the ground and then literally just replace them to the point where I had one pair of each type of shoes I had. If I had a pair of boots, it was one pair. If I had a pair of gym shoes, it was one pair. Anybody who's my friend, they know I'm telling the truth. And I know this is very vulnerable. And I know y'all probably like, why are you telling this? I know my mom probably like, why are you telling everybody this? It's because I need y'all to hear me. And I know that I'm not the only one who's been here. I'm speaking, and I didn't even learn this from my mom, I don't believe. I definitely didn't learn from her now. I'm trying to think that maybe something that she did when she was younger. I don't know. But I definitely know, I think it was definitely developed on my own, in my opinion. I'm still looking into that. Told you I'm working on me. But I really would not purchase anything. I saw people that have multiple pair of shoes. And I was like, oh, that's just excessive. They doing this, that. Why they need 10, 12 pair of shoes? Why they need this and that? Why they need clothes that cost that type of money? Why they doing this? And I was super hyper critical. And I realized that I wasn't necessarily critical about how people did most things, but when it came to the money stuff and like self-care things, I think I especially got a little tight. And see, this is what being self-aware is about. Being able to understand why you react the way you do. This is not just who I am. I am not somebody who doesn't want to. It was the reason why it really bothered me is because it's opposite of how I am. I celebrate people at all costs. Anybody knows me, I'm like a person about birthdays. I'm a person about feeling the best you can. I'm a person about celebrating your wins, no matter how small you think they are. I've always been that person. So imagine me getting tight when somebody is celebrating them in any capacity. What's that about, Paris? I could just have left myself that way, but I realized there's something to that. Why am I triggered because you're doing something nice for yourself? Why am I triggered because you took yourself out to eat and you spent $100 on a meal? Why does that trigger me? And so for me, I realized, and this is going to help somebody. Hear me, catch me here where I'm at. This is where I'm going to turn things over from me to y'all. 9 out of 10 times, when you have a problem with somebody and what they're doing, it's because it's a reflection of you and what you don't feel like you can do. I'm going to say it again. 9 out of 10 times, when you have a problem with somebody and what they're doing, and I mean, not just a basic thing, but like I'm saying, you kind of harp over it and it makes you upset and it's kind of irrational and you don't have a reason for it. 9 out of 10 times, it's a reflection of what is going on with you. I'm not saying all the times. Of course, there's exceptions to all the rules, but a lot of times when there's an issue that you make a big deal with, it's because there is some truth to that being an issue for you as well. So for me, let me explain. I had a problem with people spending that type of money or doing those things for themselves because deep down, before I go deep, let me go surface. Surface, at one point, I didn't have the money to do it, right? So when I first start seeing these luxury things, or if I start seeing these extra things that you can do for yourself, these pampering things, when I started seeing that, I didn't have the money to do that. I did not have the money to do it. And so it was not possible even if I wanted it. If I thought I could deserve a massage, I couldn't afford it. If I thought I could deserve to get my nails done, I couldn't afford it at the time. So what do? When you're in survival mode or you're trying to go somewhere or do something else? You convince yourself that you don't need it. because you need to survive. But then you go a little further sometimes. Not only do you convince yourself you don't need it, you try to go further and you try to belittle yourself for actually want to get in the first place. That's the part that went negative. The part of it was like, oh, why would I even want that in the first place? Why do people need to do that? Man, that's not necessary. Man, that's so high maintenance, high maintenance. You know what people I call high maintenance? I want to just put this out here. Let me get into the camera. I am so sorry for any woman or man, mostly woman, that I've ever secretly referred to you as high maintenance. I am very apologetic now because I just didn't realize what I was doing. It was less a reflection of them, more a reflection of me and how I felt about myself. And I judged you, turned my nose up at you. And I know me, so I don't believe it was jealousy, because I don't think I was really jealous. But I think the thing was, it's just, I convinced myself that because I could not have it when I wanted it initially, that I did not need it and that it was excessive. And I did this reverse psychology with myself and then kind of reprogram myself to say that if I, that this is that this was not needed and that, therefore anybody who has it was being excessive and wasteful. I've used that words. I've used those words. People were being excessive and wasteful, and they just, just want to do something to be seen. It really was a thing for me, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, it was a thing for me. And when I look at how I thought about other people, I started to really realize that because of how I classified it, because when I could even have the probably most beginning thought of anything like that, I wasn't in a position to do something like that for myself. The reality is that this is what we talk about when we say you can tell yourself something so many times that it becomes your truth. This is how people can lie to themselves. You can tell yourself something over and over so many times that it becomes your truth. Let me say it again. You can tell yourself something so many times over and over again where it becomes your truth. And you got to be careful with that. Because if you repeat something to your conscious enough, it is your truth. And it gets ingrained inside of your being. It gets ingrained inside of your mindset. It gets ingrained inside of your aura. And you start to operate as such. Now, I might have not said it out loud. It might have been somebody I said it to, but I don't know. I might have just kept that in my inside. But guess what I started doing? I started to embody that thing. And I started to act it out. And so what does that mean? How do parents act it out? Well, not only did I tell myself it was bad to have it, that I couldn't have it, I didn't need it. It was excessive. It was wasteful. Who needs that stuff anyway? That you don't need all that. I also judged people about when they did it, turned my nose up at them, had thoughts about them. And then on top of all that, I told myself that I was so strong. I was so basic. I actually used that word to describe myself. I know y'all think your parents, you described yourself as basic. Yes, ask anybody that knows me. I absolutely did. I described myself as basic. I don't need that. I used to actually, I want to throw up right now thinking about stuff I've said. I've been on a date before and told a guy I'm really low maintenance. My God, what did I think? What was going to happen from that? Because really what that was a shot against women that I know that was high maintenance, or what I thought was high maintenance. Wow. And so I didn't even realize what I was doing. I pretty much walked up to that man in this date or whatever, how it happened, and I let him know, you could do the bare minimum for me. I'll be happy with just you being around. Wow. You see what a self-aware will show you? It's going to allow you to see you in a different light that you ever see you. I can't deal with anybody else until I can deal with how I see the world, how I operate, how I show up in the world. So I used to wear the badge of being basic and low maintenance. Sheesh. It's the worst thing ever. Worst thing ever. And really what that was so what it did in turn was it really did create this conflict within me. Because if anybody knows me, I love life. I love myself. I celebrate me. I do these type of things. But there was always this constant battle inside of me, a constant battle where on one level, I want to celebrate me, but on the other one, but not too much, not too loudly. Man, y'all better get this word. Did y'all hear that? I would want to celebrate me, but not too much, not too loudly. Don't do it too much. People gonna think that you full of yourself. Don't do too much because people gonna say, oh, who she thinks she is. You know, don't do it too loudly because people gonna be like, you know, why are you doing all that? And so what did I do? I self-regulated myself to get to a point where I don't need all that. So much so is that when people would try to bless me, I would tell them no. Here, keep going with me, y'all. Anybody who's still on here that's listening to me, please let me know if you have had any of these experiences or you know anybody who has, because I know I am not alone. I could not let anybody do anything for me. People would try to help me. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm good. Thank you, but no thank you, okay? I would try to be like real nice. Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate you. No, I don't need it. No, I'm fine. And maybe in my mind, it was not a desperate need for it, but if somebody was trying to do something nice for me, what is my automatic response to say no? Now, mind you, I could pay for dinners, take people out. Oh, I got you. No, I got this. No problem. I got all that. No. Listen, girl, I got that. Put your card up. No, listen, we got this. No, don't worry about it. No, listen, what you need me? You need me to meet you somewhere? Oh, okay. To meet you is an hour and a half drive for me, but it's a 15-minute drive for you. No problem. No, I'll drive an hour and a half in traffic. No problem. You see this here? It now is a thing is where I have false humility because I really can't accept anybody doing anything for me because there's some part of me that really believes I'm not worth it. And some part of me that believes I'm not worth the fuss. Hear me, I saw a meme and I love this meme that I saw. It really led me into this journey last year. This meme, it said, instead of saying that you're low maintenance, is it possibly that you just don't feel like you're worth the fuss? And that thing stopped me in my tracks. And I was just like, excuse me? Like, I mean, literally, like it put a frog in my throat because I'm like, I have high self-esteem. Y'all know me. I know I look good. I just, listen, I do the thing. I got this and that. But it still was there. What is that about? What happens? What is that thing that happens when people try to do something nice for me and I literally get defensive? And I'm going to tell you what it is. It is the fact that we have kind of been in a culture where we're self-sacrificing. We want to be kind. We want to be somebody that can reciprocate. Because guess what? We've been hurt. We know what it feels like to be down. We know what it's like to not have a good friend. So we want to be the best friend. We just can't be a good friend. We want to be the best friend. We want to go all out. You know, we want to, we know what it's like to not have somebody be there for you. So therefore, we're going to go out of our way to be there for every single thing, even when it's unreasonable. You know, if somebody's like, well, I can meet you halfway, there's something about evening or balancing the playing fields. There's something about that makes me uncomfortable. No, I want to sacrifice more. Oh, if it takes me an hour, if it's 15 minutes from you, an hour and a half from me, that's fine. No problem. I can do that. No problem. Why? Why do I do that? You gotta start asking yourself those questions. Is it because I'm just a good person? Or is it because I really don't believe I deserve the same love that I have given? Is it really because I have something in me that tells me that as good of a person as I am, um, it's not okay to expect good things to happen from you? Um, is it because you might have not really fully healed from the hurt of past disappointments? How often have we told ourselves, well, what's that thing? Prepare for the worst. I mean, prepare for the worst, expect the best. Which I'm probably saying that wrong. Somebody put that in the comments. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's almost like our defense mechanism for how we see life. I know it was for me for years. For years, I could not allow myself to be fully excited about something. I couldn't until I knew it was happening, right? It was this idea that if I got fully excited about something I wasn't sure was going to happen, then I would be disappointed. And when you have been let down, or when you have been disappointed throughout life, and we all have had disappointments, everything through school, work, just living life and growing up, you're going to have some disappointments. But it depends on how you deal with those disappointments, right? And whether they harbor feelings of rejection, whether they harbor feelings or create a fear of failure, where it creates a fear of success, even fear of responsibility, new responsibility. I really started to realize there's reasons why people don't keep jobs, because they get this anxiety about the idea of, and I'm not saying that you should have to keep a job. I'm just saying for the people who say they want a job, it's the fear of that once they have this responsibility, are they going to be enough? Can they, can it keep up? Will they embarrass themselves? Will people say things about them? I think you said expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Yes, that's it. Expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Thank you. That's it. But and it sounds good to say, but what happens when you're really not expecting the best? When you're just always preparing for the worst, and you say that you think it's going to happen. You say that you're confident about what's going to happen, but deep down inside, you're holding your breath. Deep down inside, you're holding your breath and hoping that it goes right. So much so that some people have this whole fight flight thing going on, where there's this buildup that's like, where they're not able to fully just enjoy something because it's the idea that it's not real, that it's temporary, that if I get my hopes up high, I'm just going to be let down. I hope you guys are seeing how this ties into self-care. I hope you understand this, because self-care is the reason why you don't believe you deserve self-care, is because you don't really believe that you're worth it. And it's not because somebody else didn't tell you were. I mean, that could be possible, but a lot of times it's what we tell ourselves. And a lot of that stuff comes from survival tactics and survival mentality. And it's like we've passed that point, but we don't know how to kind of come back from it, right? And so, Denise, you said, I keep my expectations low because I don't want to be disappointed about others as much. Same thing. That's exactly what I was saying. That is exactly what the problem is, Auntie Nisi. I know this sounds like it's a logical thing, but that is a defense mechanism that is created by past hurts. When you have been disappointed so many times, when you have people not show up for you how you show up for them, it makes it easier to keep your expectations low because you won't be disappointed. And so then guess what? Even though that might be how you have to do things at first to get your heart okay, what happens when that's our norm? What happens when that's our everyday? What happens when somebody tells us, hey, I got a surprise for you? You can't even be excited about it because you're like, oh, is it really going to be good? It's going to be bad. They going to say it's a surprise. Am I going to have to pay for it? Oh, man, they say I got to do it, man. What do they do, man? I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Like, you really can't even be excited about it because you're worried about how the other shoe can drop. That's a real thing. And we got to talk about this because honestly, there's a lot of people that are not allowing themselves to really live a life where they are worth the fuss. And that's going to be one of my new things. I know I keep saying people, you are enough. You are enough. That is it. There's going to be a new thing. You are worth the fuss. You are worth the fuss. I can almost cry right now because that hit my soul different. That hit my soul different because there are days that I didn't believe that about myself. You understand me? And people are like, oh, you're so positive. You always this and that. You always encouraging everybody. I understand that, but I could be your biggest cheerleader. But sometimes it's hard for me to accept people cheering for me. And so it's like we got to work hard to get out of that because you will block your blessings. You will settle for less than what you're supposed to be. And then you will not go ahead and do things like self-care. You won't go ahead and pursue the things in your purpose. You won't invest in self. All these things I talk about that you should be doing, self-investment. Go ahead and, I told you one of the best self-investment is therapy or starting to do this work, starting to pursue purpose, starting to do something that's working on you. That's the biggest self-investment you can make. And a lot of people can't even get to that because deep down in their hearts, they don't believe they are worth the fuss. They can do it for their kids. They can do it for their sisters and their brothers. They can do it for their mama or their daddy. They can do it for their spouse. They can do it for their friends. They can do it for the people at work. They can cheer for the stranger on the corner. You hear me? They can cheer for the person on the TV they never met in their life, but they can't cheer for themselves. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. And whether or not you honestly talk about it, this is a pandemic as well. This is something that happens. I don't know if I should use the word pandemic or should I say epidemic. I'll think about it later. But anyway, it's a problem. It is a huge problem because we have a lot of people around here that literally are not taking care of themselves because they don't believe they are worth a fuss. We're going to break that today. If we don't break it today, we're going to break it this month. We're going to walk in this summer so freaking intentional. And I'm going to spend some time really breaking all these barriers down about why we're not really believing that we're worth the fuss. Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's time. And so I am excited about these kind of conversations because I know I'm not alone. Listen, some people say, well, that must just be me. Nope, I know it's not just me. You know, the people I have to convince to do things for themselves. And then I had the nerve to convince them to do it for themselves. And I'm not necessarily doing it for myself all the time. The difference is I find I have definitely started. Like last year, it was like a really big intentional thing. And I think sometimes when you change up like that, people look at you like, why are you changing? What you doing that for? They're not used to it. But guess what? That's okay. You teach people how to treat you. I did not think I was worth some things. So if I acted in that way, people probably didn't think I was worth those things either. So now I have to line up what I say and how I feel about myself with my actions. Because if I can't do it for me, why would I expect somebody else to do it for me? If I don't think I'm worth the fuss, why would they think I'm worth the fuss? So yeah, I want to deal with this today. I want to start dealing with this for the next few weeks because I feel like it's so much deeper than just self-care, right? Auntie Nisa, you say, I believe that wholeheartedly. That's why I won't accept anything or anyone that won't treat me like a queen because I know that I would treat him like a queen. Yeah, listen, and that definitely works in relationships. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let me be clear. You have to absolutely have standards. Absolutely need to have standards. Because you know what you put out here. And like you said, it's not, I want to even help fix what you said. That's amazing. You won't just take anything because you know you'll treat him like a queen. That's wonderful. But I'd rather you also say, I'm not going to just take anything because I am a queen. And I deserve to be treated well. It's not contingent on how I'm going to treat him. It's just because I'm queen and I carry myself as such and I deserve nice things. I deserve to be treated well. I'm just trying to get us to shift the way we talk. Because if we can shift the way we talk, we can shift the way we think. If we shift the way we think, we can change everything. Everything. So, Auntie Nisa, that's really good. But I also want you to say that I'm not going to take anything because I'm a queen. And who does queens deal with? Me, king, period. Not because I'm going to treat him like a king, but because I am a queen. I embody that thing. And therefore, I won't take anything less because that's not where I'm even at. Matter of fact, I would have to drop down and take less. I'm not. I'm going to stay where I'm at. And you're going to have to come up or you're going to already be there. Period. So, that's where I want us to be. Y'all, these next few weeks, like we're really going to deep dive into this because I know I talk about self-care, like I was talking about the nails, but it got me to thinking about my whole life. It's not just about the nails, y'all. It's about what type of car I drive. It's about what type of house I get. It's about allowing people to pick up the bill for me. It's about going Dutch on a date. It's about going ahead and meeting somebody, driving 2 hours and them not being willing to drive 15 minutes. It's about volunteering for something even when I'm dog tired. Come on, y'all. I know I'm not the only one. It's about volunteering for something even when I'm dog tired and people won't lift the finger. It's about doing something, even though it's a nice thing to do, but doing something that literally will break me. Literally, I've done stuff where I was so tired where I was going to fall asleep on the way home from where I was at. And I thought about like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to break myself to prove that I'm a good person? That I'm a loving friend? That I'm a loving family member? Why? Why can't I just be? Why can't I just show up in my life as me, believe that I'm enough, that be enough, set that standard, and only do what I really want to do? And because I'm already a kind person, not nice, kind person, it's going to show up. And it's not going to be forced. It's not going to be false humility. And it's not going to be outside of the scope of what I felt like I needed to do to seem it wasn't. It's not going to have anything to do with like a level of performance anxiety. I need y'all to get this because we're going to do some real deep diving. We talked about relationship stuff. We talked about what did I talk about before that? We talked about identity stuff, and this is just the next piece of it. I think we're about to do talk about how you view you. And I don't know, maybe I'll title it self-care because literally this is how do you forget the bubble bath, forget the nails, forget the spa. How do you take care of you? Do you take care of you? I have a questionnaire I'm going to give you guys too. Here's a checklist. I don't know how much you take care of you by, do you go to the doctor regularly? Are you working out? And I mean, you don't have to go to the gym, but are you walking? Do you do anything physical? Are you trying to monitor what you eat on any level? Like, even if you're not perfect to it, do you even think about it? Because you know that the things in your body are fuel to make sure that you are doing well in life. Are you self-developing? You read any books? Anything that you read that is, making you grow? Are you pursuing purpose? Are you meeting new people? Are you connecting and networking? Are you thriving at your job or your business? Do you do nice things for yourself sometimes? Do you go out to eat by yourself? If nobody else wants to go, can you go out to eat by yourself? When's the last time you took a trip? I don't care if you go to Italy. I don't care if you go to Vegas. I don't care if you go up the street to Indiana. When's the last time you took yourself somewhere? I don't care if you go get you a hotel room downtown. When's the last time you did something nice for yourself? This is what I'm talking about, people. You won't even be able to do anything nice for yourself if you don't believe that you're worth it. And it's something deep down. Forget what you tell yourself to everybody else. Forget the little bravado. I love me. I'm doing me. This and that. Forget that. I don't care about your Louis Vuitton shoes. I don't care about your bags. I don't care about your nails. I don't care about that. But if you don't care about this person inside, if you don't feel like she's worthy, then you don't do things that build her up or him up. And it shows in more than one way. So I really, really hope that this resonated with somebody else, because I saw pieces and fragments in me that I still have to fix. Oh, I've come a long way, long way, but I still have things that I'm fixing. And that's good, because I am a work in progress, and I don't feel bad about that. Nobody has arrived. But guess what? In being a work in progress, the way that you get better is being intentional, doing the work, not making excuses, and being vocal about it. Because if I can share my journey, if I can share some things I went through, then that can in turn make you believe that it's okay. You're not alone. You're not weird. You're not crazy. So I love you guys. I would love if anybody just came on, go back and watch the replay. Also, please share it with somebody, because I know, listen, I don't normally ask y'all. I don't go out the way. Today I'm saying it. Share this with somebody. You know why? Because somebody needs this. You know why? Because Paris a year ago needed this. Okay? Somebody needs this. I can point out people I know that need it, that I know, because this is something we deal with, and we think it's okay. And I want us to get out the idea that we have to be self-sacrificing. Like I told you, I'm gonna do a shirt to say, I'm not Jesus. I'm not dying on the cross for you. He did it once. I don't have to. And that's not even me being mean, but see, somebody can take it wrong, because they're like, wait, what does that mean? It means that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be your everything. I can just be Paris, and that be enough. So we're going to work on this, guys. We're going to really work on this. Why we have a problem with real self-care. Not the cosmetic stuff, but real internal self-care. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, it's going to be a series on self-care. Normally I start series at the beginning of the month, but forget that. I'm starting it now. Okay. Yep, there we go. Good talk. I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it. And you know, I'm always going to tell you, you are enough. And again, I'm about to start my new topic. You are worth the fuss. Period, Pooh. You're worth the fuss. You are. And it's not just for women, just because I snapped. I'm talking about, yes, sir. Father's Day just happened. Kudos to all the fathers. Shout out to all the men out here that are fathering. TD Jakes said something amazing the other day. He said, you don't have to have a biological child to father someone, meaning you can mentor or bring somebody up, another young man. And so if you are somebody that does that, kudos and many blessings to you too. Oftentimes men don't really get encouraged enough. And I heard somebody say that it's a need, and men always act like they don't need it, but I think they do. I know they do, but I think they don't vocalize it as much. So I'm going to just continue to be consistent as well. Men, you're worth the fuss too. I watched some of y'all on Father's Day like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't need that. Man, stop it. Stop that. You deserve to be fussed over. You do. You deserve it. Man and woman, you deserve somebody to make a fuss over you. Yup, you do. You do. You just got to believe it. Maybe nobody ever told you that it was okay. Maybe never somebody told you that's a feminine trait. Nah, we're going to fix that. It's not true. Nah, you can be pampered too. You don't have to wait till you're sick to be pampered. You don't have to wait till your birthday to be pampered. And Auntie Nisa, you said uncles too. Yes, uncles too. But I think sometimes uncles, they step into a fathering role. Because a lot of times you don't even realize it. You are fathering. You know, that's not just meaning that I think I'm your father. It means that I'm going to give you some tips in life that's going to help you to grow up to be the young man that you need to be and to have it. So, you know, things that you might have been missing out on. So, yeah, you deserve to be fussed over too. So, hey, cousin, I love you too. And hey, Crystal, you just came on here. Hey, love. I'm about to get off though. So watch the replay. Please watch the replay. I think you can get something from it. I think we all can get something from it. Please share this with somebody. Please share this with somebody. I'm telling you, this is going to be the start of a really good series. I feel it. I'm starting to wonder if I'm really in the pocket, but I think right now I'm really feeling this right now, this idea of this self-care and being super intentional about it. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.